All right. Hello, Speed Gaming, and welcome to qualifier number 3 for the Super Metroid Dash randomizer one-day tournament coming up in January. My name is Kip. I'm joined today on commentary by my very good friend Rumblemans. Rumble, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Kip. I am super excited. I kind of joined this last minute, but looking at the entrance list here in IRC, this is going to be a lot of fun to watch. There's a ton of fantastic racers here, and we got 4 here on the restream that are all trying to qualify for the tournament in January.
That is right. So let's explain this really quick. Good grief. How many people do we have in today's run? Like 22 or something? 2022? There's a lot of people running. Several of these people have already qualified. So let's do a quick explanation for how to qualify, and then we'll talk a little bit about what Dash is before we get going. But basically, there's going to be a one-day Dash tournament in January on, I believe, January the 18th. It's going to be a cash tournament, and 16 players are going to qualify for that tournament. And so there have been 2 qualifiers so far. During every qualifier, 4 runners will qualify. Now, the 4 people you see on screen right now have not yet qualified. We're only going to restream people who have not qualified, who are in the running. We do have other people who are running in today's race that have already qualified, but they're just running to see if they can get a faster time, because once we're done with all 4 qualifiers, we will take an individual runner's fastest time. How about that? Look at this Charge Beam right off the bat, which is going to override one of the new features of the Dash randomizer. But hey, that's just kind of how it is, right? But anyway, so do you want to read the list of people who have already qualified real quick, Rumble?
Yeah, absolutely. So our seeds in order from top to bottom are Zost, Sloters 27, Richmond 3mm, Toasty, Pizza 34, Zeb 316, Aussie 101, and Cross Product.
That's right. And that was also in the order that they are currently seated. But a lot of these runners are running again today to see if they can get a faster time, because that's going to be how we seed the one-day tournament out of 16 players. So anyway, the 4 players you see on screen right now are 4 of the players that have not yet qualified. We have tons of other people running in this race who could qualify as well. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see what happens. But basically, we got this qualifier that's happening now, and we have a qualifier tonight at 7 p.m. That will get the final 4 players in. So we'll see who the top 4 finishers are of everyone who is yet to qualify, and we'll go from there. But yeah, go ahead, Rumble.
Well, I was going to say we have one of the more interesting starts that you can have because after the 2 majors and the 2 minors that you can pick up without any restrictions, they have no explosives. So that means Bomb Terizo is going to have our progression to get through. And there's a few different items it could be. It could be anything from bombs to speed booster.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I think there's a 5 out of 13 chance, or maybe 6 out of 13 chance that you're going to get your progression from power bombs, and then the other options are speed booster, bombs, or screw attack. So we'll see which one it is. I think speed booster is the least likely at 1 out of 13. Screw is 2 out of 13, and I think bombs is like 4 out of 13 or something like that. So I'm curious to see what it's going to be. But yeah, this Dash tournament's going to be for cash. It's the very first Super Metroid one-day tournament, especially for money. And we're really excited to put it on. The Dash randomizer is something that I have worked on pretty extensively for the past several months with a few other people in our community. And we've made some pretty major changes to how the game works. And I will explain those here shortly. Let's see what we have here at the bombs item.
Yeah, azder going to be our first runner to check it out. And we do have vanilla bombs.
Okay, and let's talk for a minute. There has been a change to bombs. Bombs, does what it has always been able to do, but in addition, it can now open the speed block at the wrecked ship. So technically speaking, these players are equipped to pick up the item at the wrecked ship reserve location right now. So they don't, if they want to go to wrecked ship now, they won't be soft locked, or I guess locked out of checking that item or collecting that item. A few of the other changes: the Spazer Beam has now been upgraded. It will allow you to open up the speed blocks at both Waterway and at Batun, which means that technically you can actually finish the game and get through the Meridia section without Ice Beam or without Speed Booster or without doing a Crystal Flash. But that does mean that the sort of caveat to that is you would have to have way more ammo to kill the Zebs and Torian. So you got to make a lot of choices. I could talk pretty extensively about all the changes we've made. Let's just put it this way. It's going to make the sort of strat choices macro-wise a lot different, and there's going to be a lot to think about when people are running these things.
Yeah, and we have an interesting route divergence already, 3-way route divergence. Hero is heading down to 230 missiles to try to look for power bombs. Azder went up to Gauntlet, and Maniacal is taking the kind of standard Terminator route.
Hero is rewarded here, even though he got super missiles. We actually lowered the ratio of supers because in a lot of randomizers, people have tuned those way up, and super missiles in this game are like really, really powerful, and they make a lot of the stuff really free. So instead of people doing ammo kills on everything, oh, look what Asher found.
Baby.
That's huge. Instead of doing ammo kills on everything, you actually can kill bosses right from the beginning because we start everybody with
Oh no. He found it, and now he did not save before going to Gauntlet. So
he found the best item and then didn't. He didn't save before
No, he didn't save.
Oh no, Asher. Well, anyway, what I was saying is we start with the starter charge beam. That's one of the other 2 final major changes to this randomizer that I've made is the starter charge beam. Right from the very beginning, you have the ability to fire charge shots, but they only do 30% damage. So for those of you familiar with boss fights in this game, if you don't pick up any more ammo or try to run really risky, then those boss fights can take a really, really long time if you don't find charge. In this particular seed, it's not going to matter because they already have vanilla charge. But the final change that we've made that's like a major item change is the gravity suit will now provide heat protection, but only at a 50% rate. So that means that lower Norfair hell runs are, more possible and more on the table than they used to be. In fact, the last time we had our first qualifier last week, I think everybody on the restream finished the game without Varia. So, but it's not free. It's very difficult, and it's actually can be pretty slow when you have to farm a lot. So there's a lot of choices people have to make, and I'm curious to see how people approach these seeds. But anyway, let's continue. Maniacal checking. Ooh, this bottom location and getting rewarded with that lovely space jump. Somewhere out there, Tracy's very happy.
They've also been very generous so far with supers. As you mentioned, the ratio is a little bit lower in Dash, but most of our runners have 3 packs already, and Hero actually has 4 already.
Yeah, this in terms of Dash, this is a pretty high ratio of supers early, which is very fortunate for the runners. In most randomizers, there's a ratio of either 3-3-1 or 3-2-1 missiles to supers to power bombs. In Dash, we did a very specific number. There's 34 regular missiles, there are 14 super missiles, and there are 18 power bombs. Part of the reason we upped the power bomb ratio is because we wanted those hell runs to be more possible. And in a lot of randomizers, you can't find enough power bombs without walking all over the place to actually crystal flash. So we wanted to make sure that that was more, of a possibility in our design. Before we get too deep here, too, I need to say one more thing. Thank you to Rumble for coming in last second, helping me with commentary and tracking here. And Tracy will be here tonight in Dimensive to help out with that. Also want to give a big thank you to Insane Firebat, who helped me set up the SRL channel today, even though, there's been some issues with Live Split, and it's been a little bit more problematic. And Balthasar, one of the geniuses of our Super Metroid community, was the one that put in the change to allow us to have the race stream. So thank you to everybody who's helped out with all that.
Yeah, so far, all of the other majors have been just some energy tanks, so we're getting a little bit healthy here. Maniacal with 3 energy tanks already. And Speed Booster at charge. Oh, baby. That's a nice place to pick up Speed Booster.
Yeah, getting that speed item is going to allow Maniacal here to check the waterway location. Holy mo... This is a very friendly seed so far, and the fact that they already have the charge beam early on, that means that they know that they don't have to pay quite as much attention to ammo for speed anyway.
It is still possible for Spazer to be useful. If they don't find ice and they don't find gravity, they could use Spazer to get through to Botloon.
That is correct. If this ends up being a suitless seed for some reason, which is possible, they could, as Rumble pointed out, still use the Spazer Beam to get through that location. So Spazer is actually a beam that used to be kind of overlooked. We wanted to make sure that it had a lot of utility in this particular random. Hero making great use of that space jump to move through the waterway location faster. FBS is on his way through Green Hills. Let's see what Maniacal chooses to do in terms of going up or down. He debated us for a second. Looks like he's gonna check X-ray, and then I would assume he'll after that item he'll make a decision. So he probably doesn't know for sure yet what he wants to do. He's gonna collect some power bombs here from the fire fleas, which is a good call. He will take 60 damage from any of these spikes if he lands on them, but having the space jump makes this pretty easy. He's probably going to take a hit here. Uh-oh. He needs to be careful. The lights were off and he ran into that block there. Have you ever done that before, Rumble?
Oh, yeah. I run into blocks all the time.
Yeah, he needs to be careful. He just wants to make sure he doesn't die. FBS is going to make the choice to go up to wreck ship. I think this is interesting. I like it.
Yeah, especially with charge, space jump, and speed, you can fully clear it. It should be pretty quick.
Yeah, exactly. The space jump makes it a lot easier because it makes getting to that energy tank location a lot less stressful.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of curious about people's strategy because, you know, most of the time when you're playing a randomizer in like a league setting or a tournament setting, you're only racing one person. This is a qualifier versus a ton of people, right? You got to play against the entire field. So I kind of personally, I like FBS's decision. Obviously, we don't know what's in wreck ship, but I feel like it's a good call since he feels like he can clear the stuff fairly quickly and easily without, you know, too much risk of death. And that way, if anything good's up here, he'll have it for the rest of the run. And he won't have to be wondering, you know, oh, do I need to go up to wreck ship if he has to do some hell runs in Norfair or something like that.
And it looks like Maniacal is also going up to wreck ship after checking X-ray, which was just an E-tank.
Of course, if you think about it, energy tanks and dash have more value, technically, because in the past, people would kind of stop after they collected enough to feel comfortable. But here, if you have a seed that has Varia in a pretty troll location, having those energy tanks with gravity suit could make your lower Norfair a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially, I'm thinking about azder, knowing where high jump boots is. If they, you know, if they find, I guess it's more about if they don't find gravity, but if he finds Varia in wreck ship, for instance, then he knows he could go grab high jump boots and do lava dive, no problem.
That's right.
Looks like Hero as well is going to wreck ship. We got 3 out of 4 so far going to wreck ship. And more
look at this super pack. It's so funny. I like, you know, we did extensive testing of a lot of the things in this randomizer, and, you know, Rumble and several of my other friends helped out. And I was very adamant about making sure that supers weren't overtuned, and yet here we are in a seed with tons of supers. But see, that's good because that just means that when you're practicing dash and trying to theory craft, you can't plan for them, but then at the same time, sometimes you're going to get lucky and a seed's just going to happen to have a bunch of supers for you. So
FBS needs to be careful here. He's down to 81 energy.
I think he'll be okay. This should be the last round.
Ooh, too many missiles though. Gets lucky with another fast though.
Yeah, that was Phantom was very kind, but FBS did a nice job of cleaning it up. Plus, assuming he gets past the spiky death room, he should be you know, pretty good to go because he shouldn't fall in the water with space jump heading over to the E-tank location. And hopefully, you know, I'm kind of rooting for him to get an energy tank at the first location just to make everything, you know, comfy. Maniacal in the middle of his ghost fight. Hero heading down to fight Fantoon as well. Astra's moving along pretty speedy. I mean, if you think about the fact that he died, he's caught up pretty quickly. He is not far away. And FPS does get that energy tank. Which sometimes an energy tank is exactly what you want, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the health refill is nice, and the extra health for Spiky Room of Death is going to be definitely welcome.
Maniacal cleaning up the ghost very nicely. So 15 minutes in, and we got 2 of our runners on screen having knocked out their first major boss. And Maniacal hot on the heels of FPS here.
I do notice that azder did, even though he got speed at charge, did not go pick up plasma.
I actually, he doesn't know it's down there, obviously, and so it's unfortunate, but I like the call because it's a bit of a slow check, and he probably is already thinking in advance about how he needs to make some adjustments to, you know, what he checks and what he doesn't based on the fact that he died, you know what I mean? So he's thinking, I got to play against the field, I've got to play risky to try to catch up.
Yeah, I definitely get the thinking. I'd be a little worried in a seed where speed was given to me that Gravity or Vari is down there at Waterway, though. And especially Varia, knowing where High Jump Boots is, you know, the seed could be putting Gravity in Lower Norfair.
So Hero has finished his Fantoon fight. Asher just wrapped up his as well. What did FBS end up finding over at the was it another E-tank?
Just E-tanks so far in Wreck Ship.
So far the ship has not been kind. However, as I pointed out a minute ago, even if it's all energy tanks, that is not necessarily going to guarantee that it was a waste of time, because it just depends on where Various Suit is, where Gravity Suit is. It could be that these extra energy tanks come in like really handy when they get down to the Norfair section. But I assume that FBS is going to check to see what this item is here at the wreck ship reserve location. We'll see if it's anything good. So far, we're 0-2 on major items, though.
Well, he won't be able to get it, though, unless he farms for some power bombs. Oh, no, they have regular bombs. What am I thinking?
Oh,
it is Gravity.
Baby. That makes, you know what? It's so crazy because that makes the energy tanks even more valuable. Like, it's a perfect combination.
You know, surprisingly, you're talking about the ratios. Surprising, they only have 1 power bomb pack, though, which is going to make Varialist Lower Norfair a little bit less attractive.
All right. Maniacal has grabbed his energy tank as well. He'll be happy to see the gravity suit. Fruitbatsalad is going to take a little break here and eat a Kit Kat bar, I'm sure, while he waits for the bowling Chorizo to take him down. And we'll also get to see what's at the gravity suit location. In the meantime, Asher's moving pretty fast, man.
He has caught up nicely. Yeah, absolutely.
By the time he gets back to the main shaft, he will only be like just barely behind Hero. Now, Hero does have the plasma beam, but still, Asher has caught right up, and Maniacal is heading down. He'll be heading to bowling as well here shortly.
Hey, there's our second power bomb pack.
Ooh, more power bombs. I always like having... I like to get to at least 15, personally. I like having the Crystal Flash in the back pocket, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely nice, especially before Varia. So that if you're doing hell runs, you don't have to farm, you can just flash and get your health back.
All right, you got any official guesses what's going to be at the gravity suit? I'm going to say grapple beam.
Spring ball.
Spring ball. I'm hoping for grapple. Grapple actually is a little bit better here in Dash because of its application to.
Whoa!
Oh my God!
Wait
You
a
have
minute,
got to be
Kip.
kidding me.
Is this really?
You
right?
have got to be kidding me.
Where did you put Varia, Kip?
So I'm just gonna go ahead and be honest with everybody. This is a randomizer. I put all the items in there. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, in all seriousness, grapple does, in combination with the gravity suit only, if you don't have Varia, grapple legitimately makes a difference when you're trying to do suitless lower Norfair, because right before Ridley, you have to do some farming, and maybe right after Ridley too. So it can, like, I'm telling you, people think it's not a big deal. It really is. Like, it's a really big deal. It can help tremendously. Hero doesn't have a power bomb, so I guess he's trying to go out here to check items, maybe?
It's unfortunate that he doesn't know that the item is a power bomb, so he would actually be fine. Unfortunately, just more supers.
Oh, man. The one time you don't want to see supers. Okay, so Fruitbatsalad is now going to check this location. And again, like I said earlier, in a way, you know, again, Varia could be at Spazer, it could be at the Varia location. Like, we could find Varia very soon. We just don't know yet because all of our runners decided to go wreck ship early. But if we do have Varia in a location in this run that's not, you know, overly convenient, these energy tanks are going to really be helpful to the runners if they choose to do some suitless, or even if they're just doing hell runs in Upper Norfair, it'll make them go faster because they won't have to farm as much. So this energy tank is certainly not, I mean, you know, I'm sure FPS would have loved to find a better item there, but it's got more value. Like, I'm never upset to see an energy tank when I have gravity in this randomizer.
So, Kip, if you are azder, are you taking the risk and going to Meridia, or are you going to clear some of Norfair, like get the crate items, check high jump boots ice?
See, this is where it gets complicated, and this is why, I mean, I'm not trying to float my own boat here, but this is why I think Dash is really fascinating, because in a normal randomizer, you're not going to hell run. Like, for the most part, it's usually not successful to try to do a lower Norfair hell run in any other randomizer, right? But in this one, you can. So in a way, if Varia suits in a troll location, it actually doesn't help azder here. Does that make sense? Like, even if he went straight to Shack Tool and found Varia, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to catch him up, because other people might finish lower Norfair and then never check Shack Tool. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
I was
don't know what I
thinking
would
more if, like, if you find Varia at Botwoon or Dragon, like, that means you can go do lower Norfair much faster than anybody that decided to go down first.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I guess from his perspective, azder's a very good randomizer player. He makes some really, what might seem like confusing choices to some people, I think are like really smart choices for where he thinks he is relative to the field. But I don't know what he's going to choose to do. And I don't really know what I would do if I was in his spot.
I think at a minimum, I would do Kraid's 2 items. And then it's especially hard because azder didn't find Plasma, which means, you know, going down into lower North would be really hard for him, or at least much harder than the other runners.
True. The other thing, though, too, and this can never be understated, is azder is one of the best players in this race in terms of just being a Super Metroid player in general and movement. And so he did die. He lost some time, and that sucks. But at the same time, like, he's still faster than a lot of people and could probably catch them just by playing normal. So he needs to balance. Like, sometimes if you try too hard to do crazy stuff, it can actually backfire on you. You know what I mean? So we'll see what he chooses to do here. Unfortunately, FBS is taking Kraid to prom here. We got one more super missile, and that should do it. There we go. I guess the best way to put it, Rumble, would be I have lost races in the past. I think a lot about macro strategy when I'm racing people. I have lost races in the past where I felt like I had to try too hard to win when had I played normal, I would have won. Does that make sense? So
yeah, absolutely.
it just depends.
I mean, so far, not too much for Crate either, just a reserve tank.
So Maniacal and Fruitbatsalad and Azder are all extremely close to one another. Like, look how much Azder is caught up. Of course, then again, don't forget he does not have the Plasma Beam, and the fact that they have the Charge Beam, like, he's not going to go back to Waterway and get it, right? And the fact that they do have the Charge Beam is a big deal, because if they find X-Ray before doing Meridia, then these guys can do way faster strats on the bosses with a microwave. It will also make Mother Brain way faster. Looks like FBS is going to head to Meridia. Fascinating call. I don't necessarily blame him for this. He has no idea where Varia is. He might feel like, hey, this would be a good time for me to check a few items. I can already kill Dragon. And if I can find the Various suit along the way, then that'll make Lower Norfair easy. Because here's the thing, everybody, I warned everybody about this last week. I can't tell you how many players, when I started explaining how I set Dash up, they're like, oh, you know, gravity heat protection is going to make Lower Norfair totally free. It's going to be so easy, right? And then what ended up happening? Everybody tries it and they die, right? So it's not as easy as you think. I think FBS understands his game, and he knows that he probably doesn't want to do a Lower Norfair hell run. So I don't blame him for going ahead and checking these locations. Looks like all three of these players are doing the same thing.
All three of them went up to Meridia. They also only have 10 power bombs, which means no crystal flashing for any of Lower Norfair if they did go down. And that's a big factor in being able to effectively do it.
Looks like we got some spoilers in the chat here from one of the other streams. I'll try not to discuss what I think that means, though, since we want to keep it focused on the 4 players here. Okay, so they're heading into the bot twin fight here. Let's see how it goes. Maniacal gonna check some minor item locations up here. I wonder what he's looking for. Maybe power bombs or more supers. Well, I mean, they got plasma.
I think probably power bombs in case he decides to do Lower Norfair. You know, in the event that Varia's at Shack or Plasma, just wants to have that crystal flash ammo.
Yeah, and that also helps with maybe not finding the ice beam.
Yeah.
Hero is going to be our one person doing divergent strategy. He's heading down here to Norfair, so he's grabbed his high jump boot location item. I didn't check to see. It's kind of hard to pay attention to all 4. Another super pack, but I don't know if he already checked the ice location or not.
Yeah, we will find out shortly if he did. I didn't catch either, but I presume that'll be the next check he does if he... Yeah, he has not checked it yet, so we'll see what's at ice shortly.
So this is part of the reason I think I would have preferred, if I were running in this race, I would have wanted to clear Upper Norfair before going to Meridia, because number one, if Varia is in that location, then you don't have to check any of these items, really. And then secondly, if you end up finding the X-ray, then you have way faster boss fights in the boss fights in the Meridia section. So, but we'll see. We'll see here.
Just energy tanks everywhere.
azder with a nice grapple kill on Dre. Cause see, I made, well, it's not really a mistake, but I made this decision in one of my races. It was actually in my round 1 of the playoffs of the Rando League 2 a couple weeks ago. I came into Meridia and decided to clear out Meridia before checking Norfair, and I ended up whiffing, and I just ended up spending so much time. You end up in a kind of awkward position once you kill Dragon if you haven't found anything yet, because it's like, okay, do I keep checking places, or do I go to go to Norfair, and then if I don't find anything there, then I have to backtrack to Meridia again. So if you find something good early, it's helpful. If not, it can be a huge time sink. That screw attack will make Lower Norfair a lot more comfortable, though. That might actually make FBS feel more comfortable about potentially going down and doing the Hell Run.
Yeah, did they all skip that on the way in? I didn't notice anybody having it.
Yeah, I think so. People employing the 100% item collection sort of strategies in terms of grabbing the Botween stuff on the way.
Yeah. If that had been X-Ray, I presume they would have picked it up before going to Dragon, but...
Oh, baby! Did you see that?
I did not. Is that Varia? Oh, man.
Holy moly!
That's
FBS.
Some cosmic brain routing by FBS.
Making the calls. So forget everything I just said. Coming to Meridia was definitely the right play.
And checking Sandpit on the way out, straight down to Norfair. Works out very well.
FBS is cruising now, man. He technically that's go mode. Other than he would have to do a speed Zeb skip, or if he finds ISIL on the way, or if he picks up more ammo. Personally, well, I don't know. I guess it just depends. I would probably just keep picking up ammo because you're not guaranteed to find ice. And I would want to check the fewest major locations possible. And I'd probably just start collecting any missile or super that I ran into. This does mean that FBS doesn't have to check all the, like, if I were him, I wouldn't check anything in Norfair. Like, this could be the rare, like, checks nothing in Norfair, basically. But I don't know how it's not really risky, but I don't know how aggressive he's comfortable with playing. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think if I were him, I would check the miners that are literally in my way, and that's it. Picking up even just a few more missiles means you'll have enough ammo to get through Zebs if you need to.
Right, and I like this check here because he gets to check 2 miners and a major. So I still think it's a good idea to check a few things. He'll get a super pack out of this, which will be very helpful. Looks like that's all he's checking. He's probably not even going to check the major location.
And Hero is finishing up the both mountain checks. Unfortunately, not a lot there. Spazer was there, but didn't pick that up since he doesn't need it.
Yeah, I need to take this moment to explain something. We made changes to bombs. We made changes to gravity suit. We made changes to Spazer that greatly affect how you can play a seed. It's part of the diversity and the dash randomizer that we want. But we did not add those to the logic. So you're no more likely to need Spazer. Like, you don't need Spazer at all, actually, to complete any of the seeds. It's just an extra way on top to have a little more freedom within the randomizers. I could kind of talk for a long time philosophically about why I'm trying to set it up this way and why I feel like that fits Super Metroid as a game. I understand some people like randomizers to have a lot of hard gating because it's fun to look for items, and I don't disagree, but I do think we need at least one type. Like, this is sort of a speedrunner's randomizer, if you will, that will allow a lot more speed tech and a lot more use of your abilities as opposed to just the items themselves.
And we got a Croc Z on screen. Hero betting on Croc. Unfortunately, the best thing he could find here would be ice. Other than that, there's not anything useful going to be here.
Man, azder and FBS are right back to back. Fruitbatsalad is a very good player. azder is also very, very good. azder probably has more speedrun Super Metroid speedrun experience across like more categories than FPS. So I would assume he's going to gain a little bit of ground on some of these rooms, and maybe even on Ridley a little bit too. It just depends, but FBS does have Plasma Beam and Azder does not, so that's going to make a difference when we get to Mother Brain and also Ridley, but we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, we also know Azder will not find Spazer, which was at Wave. He's not going to check those items, so that is, unless he is looking for ice, which I don't think Azder will do at this point. This is the beam he's going to be fighting Mother Brain with.
And unfortunately for him, he hasn't stopped to pick up as many minor items. If he had, he would have more supers. And those will come in handy against Mother Brain. Obviously, in Dash, you don't have to have them. But, you know, let me just give a quick warning to anybody out there wanting to check out Dash, which I hope a lot of people out there get into it. Dash is no more harder than oh, unfortunately here I took a death there. Dash
he reset because it was Spring Ball at the grapple item.
Gotcha.
And he insulted Spring Ball. Did not pick it up and reset.
Gotcha. But Dash is no more difficult to complete than the 2017 tournament logic seeds that we had in our first tournament. You know, it's definitely completable by a range of players with a range of skills. With that said, you know, I really would encourage people to give it a shot and really try out some different things. You know, there's a lot of cool ways you can add tech to the run.
And Azder, due to missing Plasma, is going to farm some supers here before Ridley. Whereas Fruitbatsalad, very happy with his beam. He does set up to start with an X Factor, which is actually 2 X Factors, which is going to help with the missing ammo. We got triple Ridley on screen. Have you ever seen so many Space Pelicans?
All right, FBS has him down. Now I would check this Ridley item here. It's only a few seconds. Oh, he's not going to do it. Okay, no problem. I would have checked it just for the free energy refill if it's an energy tank, and also just in case it's ice or high jump boots, because he does not know. You know, like that could have been high jump boots. He doesn't know where high jump boots is. But at the same time, I also don't blame him. He feels like he's ready to go, and he wants to make those qualifiers. So let's go, FBS.
Oh, we do see Hero going down into Lore Neufair without Varia. All of his exploration has netted a lot of energy tanks, and he gets another one here at Screw Attack. And he has got lots of ammo, so he is in that position that makes this very doable.
That Plasma Beam helping Maniacal out. Maniacal has caught up with Azder, and he is going to check this location. It's either going to be ice, a tank, or nothing useful. Oh, X-ray. It was the Plasma Beam. Or excuse me, the X-ray. So anyway, one thing I was going to mention earlier, but I got off track, is for those of you that are a little inexperienced, I would not recommend, if you're going to do some dash seeds, I would not recommend skipping a ton of minor items, because if you don't find a lot of the beams, I'm telling you, those boss fights can be harder than you think. Ridley and Mother Brain, when you have to do a bunch of charge shots, can be more difficult than people realize when they first do it. So don't skimp on the minors. Minors can still be very, very useful, even if you have good beam combinations.
Yeah, Maniacal did do Dragon. Our tracker is slacking. He got it, though.
Man, we're paying that dude for nothing.
Wait a minute, he's getting paid?
Okay, I do need to make a quick reminder. We have like around 20 people in this race, many of whom have already qualified. So that means that even if they finish, in the top 4 of the racers in this race, they will not take a qualifying spot. So it's going to be the top 4 runners with the top 4 times that have not yet qualified who will qualify here. With that said, there are a lot of people off stream that you guys can't see right now who are running. So none of these 4 right now have qualified so far, but that doesn't mean that they're guaranteed to qualify in this race. If they don't, I have no idea where the other people are, so we'll just have to wait and see. But just to reiterate, the people who have qualified so far, we got Zost, we've got Sloters, we got Pizza, we got Cross Product, we got Richman, Toasty, and Aussie and Zeb. FBS is moving right along here. I don't know what he's going to choose to do about his ammo situation. You know what I would probably do if I were him? I would run through Gauntlet because I have Space Jump and Screw Attack. I might even check a few of these item locations in the Red Tower just to have enough minor items, hopefully get some missiles and supers to be able to kill the Zebs. Personally, I hate doing the speed booster. Zeb skip. I would imagine FBS is probably not the biggest fan either. But he does have a few locations he can check. Hero, in the meantime, doing his hell run through Lower Norfair, getting ready to fight Ridley. He's going to utilize this grapple beam to farm up.
And he's got plenty of supers. Going in with only about 600 energy, which he takes less heat damage, but if he does get hit by Ridley at all, he will take quite a bit of damage from Ridley himself.
I like the call by FBS here. He's going to go ahead and refill. Mainly, it's not really for the power bombs here. It's mostly for the missiles and supers, because he's going to have to power bomb the Metroids, and therefore they won't drop hardly any ammo. And he's thinking in advance about those Zebs, probably.
Hero is going to be, I think, pretty gets nice energy from Ridley at least, but going to be disappointed to not find an E-Tank at Ridley. But for him, he has not done Meridia, so X-Ray will be pretty helpful.
Oh, baby. FBS not going to check any items, so he's going to have to speed Zeb skip, or he technically can still use his ammo on the Zebs, but he would have to refill like once or twice. So let's see how it goes, man. But this is awesome. This is pretty hype, man. He's our first player on screen in Tutorian. Let's see how it goes.
Azder also taking a refill. Needs those 15 power bombs for the Metroids and that ammo just as much as FBS does.
Yeah, I think Asher's going to check Gauntlet here. Well, I guess not. Here's why I would have. He knows it has high jump boots. That can help you with baby skip and make a lot of the rooms faster and the escape. He also could have gotten more ammo to supplement not having plasma. But he decided not to.
I'm actually a little surprised that FBS and Maniacal didn't check Gauntlet with Space Jump and Screw Attack. It's fairly quick. You're guaranteed 2 minors, and it's possible that Ice or High Jump are there, both of which would help some more than others.
True. But then again, they're probably thinking, man, I gotta be in the top 4 people in this race. So sometimes you can get in a hurry. course, at the same time, Rumble, correct me if I'm wrong. I would say that you and I are probably pretty similar in terms of philosophy. We're probably both pretty conservative in our approaches to these things.
Yeah. One thing to consider is that you do have to be top 4, but you only have to be top 4. Like, you don't have to win the race, right? And
exactly.
So you could take some minor short, like, just play it slightly safer, especially when, if you think about the way they found the items, that's basically the best route you could take. You know, go up to wreck ship first, get gravity, go to Merid. Like, doing Kraid first doesn't really take that much time, and then go to Meridia. The only extra check they did was Mama Turtle. Like, you're probably in a pretty good space routing wise if you went that route.
I agree with you, and I'm going to say something that people in the chat probably are not going to like, because I know how much people like craziness and rando races and stuff, but I have won more races by playing conservatively than I have lost by playing conservatively. Like, I've won a ton of races making the conservative choices as opposed to doing the risky thing. So I don't know, man. I don't necessarily think playing super aggressive all the time is the right call.
To answer the question in chat, 4 new people will qualify. So other people can improve their ranking, but there will be 4 new qualifiers based on how people finish today.
Oh my God, is FBS going to do this first try?
Oh. Nope. He is just going to shoot them, though. He'll have 20.
Does he have enough?
Yeah, he'll have 2010 after doing this. 29 now. Or 27. I know how to count.
I don't know if he's got enough, man.
Yeah, he does. It's 4 supers per thing, so 27, that's enough ammo for Mother Brain 1.
He needs to nail every one of these.
He could miss 5 missiles or 1 super.
Come on, man, I'm trying to build the drama.
Oh, yeah, this is... Yeah, see? Plenty.
Let's go, FBS.
I just have lots of faith in my boy Fruitbatsalad.
By the way, we have a finisher, ladies and gentlemen, and oh baby, Sloters 27 just finished in first place with an official SRL time of 46 minutes and 42 seconds, which puts him now as the #1 overall seed in the tournament. Nicely done. Very nice race, Sloters. But that does not, that still means that 4 qualifying spots are open because Sloters has already qualified. He was our first place finisher in the first race last week, so there are still 4 spots open. That does not take away any of the 4 qualifying spots in this particular race. Looks like FBS is good here.
Oh, looks like he's going to go for stand-up.
I like the call with Wave and Plasma.
You know, I don't know if I like the call, actually. He's in the IRC. He knows only Sloters is finished, and Sloters is already qualified, and he is minutes away from being done. I might just play it safe.
I feel you, but FBS, I think what FBS is going to do here is there are some pretty easy ways to play it safe and still do stand-up, so I feel like he's not going to push it for everything it's worth. I think he'll play it pretty conservatively. Okay, look at this. Azder is maybe 10 seconds or so ahead of Maniacal, but Maniacal is going to catch him by having the Plasma Beam. I would be shocked if Maniacal did not catch up and end up surpassing Azder in this boss fight. This is insane, man. And this is the second week in a row that we've had multiple people on Mother Brain using different strats at the same exact time, man. This is awesome. I love it. Oh man, I'm starting to get excited. So far, ladies and gentlemen, we have not had another dot done yet.
Maniacal is choosing not to do stand-up. Going to take the ultra-safe route.
And as predicted, he was able to catch up with Azder.
Yeah, Azder likely will also... Well, I don't think you can do stand-up with 6 tanks and a reserve, but it wouldn't be worth him to do it anyway with just Wave.
Look, man, I don't know what's going to happen or who's going to finish in the next couple minutes, but if FBS finishes this and nobody else finishes before he gets done, he's going to have the second, he's going to be the 2 seed at the end of this race unless somebody else finishes, because this is a faster seed than the 2 from last week. And he's going to finish with a barely above 50 time. Right now, the second seed is like a 54 something.
I would like to call out that azder at Mother Brain already gonna finish in the next few minutes. Lost 6 minutes to the death in Gauntlet.
Holy moly!
Likely would have already been done. Probably would have beat Sloters in the race if he had not died.
This is crazy. All right, FBS going through the Leodox room. Heading into the climb. We still don't have anybody who's done before Fruitbatsalad. Is he going to be able to get up here? If so, if he ends up being the second place finisher in this race, he will not only qualify, but he will be currently the second overall seed in the entire tournament, barring whatever happens tonight in the race.
Do you think any of these runners will save the animals?
No, I don't think so. I'll ban them if they do. We got Fruitbatsalad finishing in second place with an official SRL time of 50 minutes and 35 seconds. GG to Fruitbatsalad. Fruitbatsalad is our first qualifier in today's qualifying race, so he is guaranteed to be in the tournament in January, and he is currently the number 2 overall seed in the tournament. Congratulations to Fruitbatsalad. Maniacal now making his way. azder's not that far behind him. Oh man, this is nerve-wracking.
Oh, falling down in Leodox room.
He Leo'd the Leo room.
I know as a randomizer player, being an escape at this point, you are often looking back at IRC over and over again, going, somebody's gonna done. Somebody's gonna, like, who are those people that are, 3 screens ahead of me that are gonna done?
I know, it's so nerve-wracking. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I think Maniacal's gonna qualify here. He would have to have 4 other people, or I guess 3 other people, finish in the next 10 seconds.
Yeah, and also they would have
seconds.
to not be Zost, Aussie, or any of the other ones that have already qualified.
Exactly, but no, ladies and gentlemen, Maniacal, what a race.
Nicely done.
Fruitbatsalad and Maniacal made similar choices, and both played extremely well in this race. I'll let you do the honors on this one, Art Rumplemans.
All right, well, we do have Maniacal finishing with an official SRL time of 52:19. By the way, putting him in as the 3rd place seed right now.
How about that? Maniacal, GG, qualifying in today's qualifier, and also, as Rumble pointed out, he is the number 3 seed overall at the moment. This is all just for the moment, though. We won't know for sure until tonight's race, because if we have a fast seed tonight, a bunch of people show up and run a fast time, the seeds could change. But GG to Maniacal, and congratulations to him for qualifying for the tournament.
It's interesting. We have 2 of the top 3 are runners that hadn't qualified, and clearly there is some fantastic talent also running in this race that have already qualified. And it kind of goes to show you that in randomizer, like, the route you take and the choices you make can make a significant difference.
Yeah, all 3 of these runners went wreck ship first, and then Meridia second. Hero went wreck ship first, but unfortunately, in this particular seed, it didn't pan out for him in Norfair. But yeah, it looks like all 3 of these runners are going to be the top 3 finishers of the people who had not currently qualified, which right now we're only restreaming people who have not qualified. And congratulations to azder finishing in 4th place with an official SRL time of 53 minutes and 32 seconds. And that will qualify him for the tournament as well. And I believe at the moment put him as the 4 seed.
Yeah, we'll have Sloters, Fruitbatsalad, Maniacal, Zost, and then azder, so he'll be 5th seed.
5th seed, yeah, there you go.
And 53-32 with a death in Gauntlet is Super impressive.
Indeed, it is. He would probably be the #1 overall seed right now if that not had happened.
It would have been close between him and Sloters, I think. It was about a 6-minute time loss, so.
In the meantime, we also have Toasty finishing up in 5th place with an official SRL time of 54:38, but he has already qualified, so he's good to go. I think that does improve his overall time, though, so it might affect his seating. In the meantime, we still have one more spot open for people to qualify. So Hero is not out of it yet, and if we can, maybe we can get the restream to swap over to some of the players who haven't finished, who haven't qualified yet. Holy moly! Ladies and gentlemen, we had a last-minute person enter this race who said that they had not done a randomizer in a long time, who just finished in 6th place with an official SRL time of 55 minutes and 33 seconds, but that is the 4th finisher for the qualifiers today, and that person is Woody. Congratulations to Woody for qualifying for the one-day tournament. Shortly thereafter, Aussie.Duns in 7th place with an official SRL time of 56 minutes and 1 second, but he is still already qualified, so he's good.
And I think as we have Hero finishing up here, I think Fruitbatsalad is going to join us for a little post-game interview.
Awesome. Also, I want to give a big congratulations again to Sloters. A 46 minutes seed is completely insane. Obviously, we would expect nothing less from Sloters. He's one of the best randomizer players out there. But wow, what a great race this.
Yeah, this seemed like it was a good one. GG, FBS.
GG Maniacal, GG Sloters. This was a lot of fun.
Hey, gentlemen, welcome in, and congratulations to both of you for finishing in 2nd and 3rd overall, but the top 2 times for the qualifiers of this particular race. How you feel?
Feeling good. Maniacal and I were just chatting in the setup channel, and yeah, I feel pretty good about this. This was fun.
Yeah, I was thinking that I might have to run 2 today, but I don't think I'm going to improve my seed time off of this. Like, this was very close to my dash PB. I felt like I routed a seed that potentially could have been slow pretty well. Got pretty lucky with some locations, and I feel good about the seed time.
Excellent. Yeah, so if y'all don't mind, talk us through a little bit. Y'all did very, very similar things throughout the race. Just a few minor differences. Can you guys talk me through a little bit of just about how, you decided to approach the seed and why you were making some of the decisions you...
Were we both on the restream?
Yes, you were.
Well, I can't speak for Maniacal, but I know that it seemed like all the items were kind of leading us to go to Wreck Ship first, to go up Red Tower. So I did that. And then as I was going through Wreck Ship, I had this nagging feeling like I was behind, and I felt like there are 24 people in this race, and I really need to take a chance and do something different. All the items seemed to be suggesting that I should just do my usual route and go into Norfair, but I decided to take a chance and go to Meridia after Kraid, and it sounds like Maniacal did the same thing. I'm guessing Sloters did the same thing, so I think this was a seed where you do Wrecked Ship, you do Kraid, and then you go into Meridia, and that turned out to work out for both suits.
Yeah, so Kip, you highlighted minor differences between me and FBS, and shout outs to that bonus 4th power bomb pack that I grabbed after looking at it like an idiot. That was pretty bad. But the minor search was real in this one because my speed Zeb skip is really bad, and so I knew I was losing time there, which was worrisome. But I was not going to put myself in a speed Zeb skip in a race situation. That just especially with how my stutter threes were going in warm-ups. I wasn't really warmed up for the race, and I knew there was no way I was going to do it, so I did have to Zeb skip. But this was a fun one. The other sort of big thing was like that this played out pretty algorithmically, like I want dash seeds to play out. Like I have a pretty prescribed algorithm that I use for how I approach these and how I finish them. And this one lined up very well with that, with the exception of the Meridia decision, which was contingent on miners. If I had better ammo for Crystal Flash, like if I had enough supers and power bombs that I knew I'd find the missiles I needed, I probably would have gone straight to Lower Norfair and said, forget Meridia, and I'll just get it on the way back out because of skipping Varia. But I did want to find Varia, so I did go up into Meridia at that point, or just wanted more stuff for Lower Norfair.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of the stuff you said, especially considering keeping in mind consideration for the speed Zeb skip, because I was thinking the exact same thing. I think all three of us are probably similar in the fact that we can do it. It's not our preferred. No, it was like all three of us can do it, but it's definitely not our preferred method. In fact, I can't recall a single race where I've ever forced myself to do it. I usually just rely on the ammo. So, but anyway. It was a great race. Rumble, I'm going to let you ask a couple questions. I'm going to kind of step away to try to type up some stuff in this spreadsheet for a moment.
Sure.
So I'll be right back in just a minute. I just kind of need to get this info in while I can.
I would like to call out that both Maniacal and Fruitbatsalad, prolific Kid Icarus speedrunners. How much do you guys think Kid Icarus played into your performance today?
I want to say that Rumblemans here is also not a slouch at Kid Icarus, so we should just turn this into Kid Icarus chat, the three of us, for the rest of this.
Hey, what a surprise! It's almost like y'all took over my Discord to turn it into a Kid Icarus Discord, and now you're taking over the tournament to turn it into a Kid Icarus.
In all seriousness, though, I have been speedrunning NES games lately. I mean, I've been speedrunning Castlevania too, so I've been holding an NES controller more than I've been holding a Super Nintendo controller. So I felt like a little bit shaky at the start of this race because I just, I've been like splitting my attention between two things. Yeah.
I will call out quickly as Hero 82 finishes up in 11th place overall, 4th on the restream with an official time of 1:01:19. Hero made the opposite call that you all made and went down to Norfair after Kraid. And did do Variolus, Ridley, and Lower Norfair, and was not the optimal choice.
Shout out to Hero because he's also on the Kid Icarus leaderboard.
We had a very Kid Icarus heavy restream today.
Yeah, shout outs to azder, who is just about to start learning Kid Icarus. He doesn't know it yet.
The Super Metroid community is infiltrating the Kid Icarus leaderboard. That's what's going on.
I think as you're learning Kid Icarus, it just means I'm going to go lower on the leaderboard, is what that means.
I want to echo what Maniacal said earlier. I was also worried about the speed Zeb skip. You might have noticed I continued picking up miners when I didn't really have to pick them up anymore. Yeah, I was kind of worried about that too. I did one attempt at the speed Zeb skip, and then I knew I had enough ammo, so I just killed the Zebs after that.
Yeah, we do have a few other runners now in the restream. I'm going to go ahead and swap some audio here so we can listen to some more Turian music. Oh, audio unknown. Never mind. Changed my mind. We're going to hear credits music. I wonder if anybody found ice. We did not see where ice was. It was either Plasma or Shack.
Okay, we saw Gauntlet then?
Yeah, actually, azder went up to Gauntlet right away. It was high jump boots, but then he died. And then he didn't go back and get them.
Interesting. How
jump boots would have been nice to have.
He had bombs, so that makes sense.
Y'all need to watch this back because the race between azder and you and Maniacal, you and Fruitbatsalad here was really fascinating. He made some choices and he skipped some items to try to catch back up, but then one of them was Plasma, and so at different junctures he would like get closer to y'all or surpass you for a little bit, but then y'all would retake the lead on some like beam fights and stuff. It was really interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this back. It seems like 3 of the 4 racers were all like really clustered, and that's not Hero's fault. It was just Hero's choices took him a longer route. But yeah, GG's to azder as well. I figured we had I guess a 2018 where we just raced each other over and over again in tournaments, and I saw him in this one. I was like, okay, well, he's guaranteed to qualify because he's going to finish ahead of me, and so I got one on him today, even though it didn't matter, and we both qualified. Although, if he doesn't improve his seed time, I'll have a better seed than him, which will be new.
That is true, and we've got some other people up here on the restream. But yeah, gentlemen, I just want to personally thank y'all. I've mentioned it before. You know, number one, I appreciate every single person who's come out and supported this. You know, the idea of this tournament and doing these qualifiers. You know, it's really cool to give some attention to it, and in particular, Maniacal and FBS worked with me, and I bothered them and made them read hundreds of messages in Discord when I was asking people a lot of questions about some of the choices I was making about how to set up this dash randomizer. So thank y'all for testing seeds out early on and giving me some feedback and stuff. So I hope you guys have fun, and congratulations for making it into the tournament.
Yeah.
I would like to call out that I'm pretty sure Shiny Zenny did RBO Lower Norfair because he doesn't have gravity or Varia. And I saw him coming out of Lower Norfair.
Nice.
That sounds like a Zenny thing to do. I bet he's salty about it too.
Well, Kip and Romans, thank you for giving commentary for this. This was fun. I think I'm gonna head out and let you two finish up the commentary here. But GG to everyone, and I think I'll be back for the 7 o'clock one. I think I'll do that for fun, and awesome. I'm looking forward to the tournament in January.
Great. GG, yeah. FBS. Congrats again on qualifying for the tournament.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
See you, FBS. GG. And yeah, I would do the 7 p.m. except I have something else that I'm going to run and go do that like is a sort of time overlap. So unfortunately, I was like, if I qualify in the 1 p.m., then I'm going to do this other thing and not the 7 p.m. Otherwise, I'm going to cancel on my other plans and do the 7 p.m. because I wanted to get a slot in the tournament. But and I wanted to give myself at least 2 more shots at it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, thanks again, Maniacal. Enjoy your event tonight, and I'm sure we'll talk. We'll obviously talk before January, but yeah, looking forward to having you in the tournament, man.
Yeah, thanks, Kip, for putting this on, and SpeedGaming for hosting and promoting it and everything. Really excited about it. It's been cool to like watch this develop. I really do enjoy the modifications that this offers and some of the routing options. I think it makes the play cleaner, but it makes it more customizable to player skill, which I think is exactly the goal. And so I like that the goal that you set out with when you were devising what this would be has been realized in practice. And I think that's a fantastic thing.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And as always, we're going to keep it as it currently is now, just for consistency, you know, for the qualifiers and for the tournament. But, you know, we're going to get some more feedback from people as they play more seats, and we'll continue to update. But yeah, man, GG, and we'll catch you later.
Yeah, take it easy. Thanks for having me into chat. Thanks for having me on the restream. And I'm stoked for January. So I'm looking forward to watching this back, and I'm looking forward to doing more Dash.
Awesome. I would like to take a moment here to make a quick announcement to everybody that I don't necessarily pick who's on the restream based on, you know, like necessarily who I think for sure is going to finish in the top 4, but I knew all 3 of the runners today. I thought they all had a very good shot at being our 4 qualifiers, including Hero. If you look at what Hero did, he was right behind them, like just barely behind. If he had made the same choice to go to Meridia, which he has no way of knowing, you know, whether he can do that or not, he would have been right there too. So we had 3 out of 4 on the restream actually qualify today. And I think we had 4 out of 4 last week in one of the races, and maybe like 2 out of 4 in one of the other races. So I'm curious to see what we have tonight. And I will say we're going to sit here and watch a lot of these other people try to finish up. But don't forget that we will have qualifier number 4 tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. here on Speed Gaming. And you know, that's the last qualifier, so we'll get our last 4 players. But I'm really excited about the 12 players we have so far. Everybody has earned their way in, and I'm really happy to see some interest in Dash. I do want to point out real quick, Phoenix Down 23 has on a sick custom suit. I love his custom suit. He actually designed that for me to use in my Rando League, one of my Rando League matches this year. And I'll give a quick shout out to Minnie Mimis, who is actually Fruitbatsalad's wife. She's a great streamer, fantastic artist, and she has put together a bunch of custom suits for me. And Phoenix Down actually designed one for himself that I used in one of my races, and then we gave it to him, and he uses it in all his races. I think it looks awesome. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of the custom suit palettes in this game. I think they look really cool.
You know, it doesn't look like anybody picked that up ice, and we don't get to know where it is. Somebody's gonna have to go 100% to seed so I can find out.
Oh no. Oh no, I know what's about to happen.
I know. Oh.
No, he didn't do it in time. Mother Brain's gonna shoot him.
Yep. Goodbye, Phoenix Down. That suit was beautiful.
Goodbye, beautiful suit. We hardly knew ye. You know, I'll be honest with you. I did that exact same thing. Literally the exact same thing that he just did. I did it the last time I ran a randomizer. So, so I feel your pain, Phoenix Down, for sure. Zenny doesn't have Ice Beam, right?
No, he has Spring Ball, though.
So that means Ice Beam has got to be, what'd you say, Plasma or Shack?
Plasma or Shack, I believe, are the only items we did not see.
Dude, I'm telling you, Ice Beam is too OP in this game.
Well, is there some way we could make Spring Ball kill the Metroids?
We need to come up. The next thing we need to do is have like I've already got some ideas for the next upgrades I want to make in terms of changing some of the items, but we need to have beam infused items. So like a spring ball that can freeze things, or you know what I'm saying, or like a screw attack that can go through gates or something. Like, how cool would it be to have like some crazy upgrades? Like, that'd be sweet.
That would be sweet. Yeah, let's make Spring Ball go through gray doors.
Holy moly, dude, that would be wild. I'm ready, dude. You know what I'm ready for? I'm ready for the charge jump boots.
The charge jump boots?
Let's go. Can you imagine how cool that would be? Imagine charging your boots and then using them to like run into things or jump into things and do damage. Holy moly.
What if Charge Beam allow you, like, you would charge it, and as long as you stayed still, it would give you like a shine spark that you'd have to use without moving.
That would be so sweet. By the way, Sloters just gave me a great idea. From now on, we're going to go back in and code, and if you find all 4 of the reserve tanks, you immediately get all GT code items. Let's go.
What if instead of every item you picked up gave you an item? What if every item you picked up gave you a random set of items? And so you could go find a new item, but you might lose some stuff you had, and then gain some stuff that you didn't have.
That's fascinating, actually. That is really fascinating, Rumble. We're going to have to talk about that. That might can be like a future mode that we put in or something. Hey, when it comes to reserve tanks, one man's trash is another man's treasure, right? That's interesting. Replace G4 with R4, so if you have all 4 reserves, you can automatically go open G4?
You would not see anybody skipping reserve tanks anymore.
No, you wouldn't. All right, let's point out a few other people. Tillamore finished in 13th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 21 seconds. Congratulations to Tillamore. Cassidy Moen finished in 14th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 13 minutes, and I think 59. So congratulations to Cassidy.
It looks like Zenny's going to head down left sand pit without gravity. I believe he has high jump. He's going to find Varia, which is not going to be very useful to him, considering he's already finished Norfair. And he is not happy. No, you need those supers. Oh, we might get to find out what's at Shack Tool? No, never mind. Oh, and we do have one runner who has decided to save the animals on Restream. Tried to kill the Decora with the Shine Spark, but unfortunately the Decora is invincible.
Yeah, the Decora is technically a Shine Spark itself, right?
Yeah, it's made up of shine sparks.
And GG to Souza, finishing in 15th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 7 seconds, and a cool ship there to boot. Congratulations.
Very nice ship.
Y'all forgive me for being quiet for a moment. I know that you miss my southern voice, but I'm having to type in a lot of information on the spreadsheet here before I lose any of the information. We've had some issues with live split today. So luckily, we had, like I mentioned earlier, we had some really great people. Balthasar and Insane Firebat have been extremely helpful in helping us to continue to have this set up for today. And so I appreciate them a lot. So I'm trying to get all the information into the spreadsheet here. And in the meantime, looks like did Zinni do a suitless check of Shacktool somehow? Is that even possible?
He did not. As far as I'm aware, he didn't actually check Shacktool. He sort of went over there to try, but didn't actually get to Shacktool. He did skip Varia after seeing it.
The funny thing is I asked like if it was possible, because even though I thought it was impossible, it might not be. Like basically anything that you think is impossible, don't say that, because Zinni will find a way.
Yeah, I believe he did a somebody in chat will correct me, but he did a low percent RBO run where he gets like 18% of the items or something, and does RBO with some ridiculous game breaking tricks. Looks like he's going to take that spike suit to try to get to Shacktool. Oh no, Evil Sparky? Oh, okay, this is alright. I thought you took more damage from enemies while you're in Shine Spark.
Evil Sparky showing us, or excuse me, Shiny Zinni showing us the hand cam. I love Super Metroid hand cams because it just, there's always so many crazy things going on when you're speedrunning this game, and hand cams are always fun to watch. If people have an input display or a hand cam, I usually end up watching it more than the game. Sparky dominating this Ridley right now. Let's go. Hey, let's go, baby. Nicely done.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Ridley got him.
Wait a minute. Did you just see what Zenny did?
I did not.
He like did a bunch of bomb jumps as bomb, and then all of a sudden just like
Oh,
blew him up onto the platform.
yes, this is a oh, I forgot. Shiny Zinni has run this meme category called Death to Shacktool, and he, I think working with Snick or somebody, found some crazy way. He did this spike suit earlier in Kraid's Lair, and then he held it, and then he did this crazy bomb jump, and then yeah, he sparked across that room because he couldn't otherwise get through it, I think. And now he's trying to do the fall off the ledge spin jump thing.
Yeah, the flatly, as this is called.
Is that what it's officially called?
That
Dude, this
is officially what it's called.
Unbelievable, man.
But now he has to get up here. Oh, he has space jump.
Dude, this is nuts, man. This game, man. This game.
These are the kind of things you heard about at school. Is he just going to kill him and leave? Oh, okay. that you thought were actually just made up things. But it turns out your friend who had an uncle that worked at Nintendo actually just knew about all the glitches in Super Metroid.
That's right. See, most people don't know Zenny is a lot older than you think. Okay, Zenny's actually about 60 years old. He just looks really young because he's young at heart. But he is everyone's uncle that worked at Nintendo. That's how he knows all the tricks.
We know Ice Beam has a 50% chance of being here. We've seen all of the other majors. So I think it is either Ice Beam or could be a reserve tank. I don't remember if we saw all 4 reserve tanks. I'm kind of hoping it's a reserve tank.
All right, what's it gonna be?
He's not even going to check it before going this way.
Nice beam.
It's useful. I'm so disappointed.
Hey, my favorite beam. Let's go, baby.
There we go. Now we don't have to run the seed ourselves to figure out where Ice Beam was.
Well, Zenny
Evil
Kojak did a
Spark
few
taking
supers there.
taking a death there. I think on his way out from Lower Norfair. And unfortunately, before he had killed Ridley.
Yeah, that's true. That's very unfortunate. Are these our last 2 participants at the moment? When you type that in, does it show you anything? Because I don't see anything.
It only sends it to the person who typed it. So yeah, it looks like Shiny Zenny and Evil Sparky 1 are the only 2 runners left.
Well, I just learned something today. For the last 2.5 years, I've been watching people type dot entrance into the SRL race channel, and nothing happened, and I kept being like, why are people typing this?
Curiosity never got the better of you, and you just typed it once for fun, just to see.
No, man, I'm too fungineer for all that mess. When it's race time, I'm focusing on the race.
Well, we can say for certain that Zenny will have the fastest Turian of any of our runners.
Probably. Yeah,
he
probably.
Doesn't have a super here to do this Green Gate glitch because he used them all to shoot the Ice Beam that he was mad at.
Justifiable.
Yeah, it's the right call, but just...
Okay, let me ask a quick question since we got a lot of people in here. This is not something I'm considering for Dash. It's just a general question. Like, I'm always thinking about different ideas, right? And I can see pros and cons. What are the pros and cons of having 1 or 2 locations in Super Metroid that you are guaranteed to have a major movement item at, but you never know what it is? Like, for example, in theory, let's say that Shack Tool had, or maybe not a movement item, just any major item. Shack Tool is guaranteed to have a major item there that's not an energy tank or reserve every single time. Do you think that and maybe a few other locations would make it more interesting or less interesting? Because you would know for sure that if you got there, you wouldn't be, screwed with a tank or something. But at the same time, you're not guaranteed for it to be something that you totally need. Like, I'm kind of curious how people would feel about that. Again, this is not something I'm wanting to do for the dash. I'm just talking in general. Okay, seems like there's more negative than positive. Oh, interesting, Fiesel. I would like to actually talk to them about that. Yeah, I don't have plans to change what dash is, but I do actually want to continue to like get feedback about different concepts, because we might put in different game modes. That's not really a game mode I've considered, but there's just so many ways of setting things up. I'm kind of curious what people's perspective is on a lot of it.
You could play with it a bit too. What if you you guaranteed a beam as the boss reward for every boss, right? So you knew like Plasma, Spazer, Wave, Ice were all behind bosses.
Yeah, that'd be interesting too. The only problem with that is that would greatly change your minor pickups. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I guess
you'd
one
be guaranteed
beam
to get them.
One beam would be not included, right? So 80% of the beams is what you would get.
Right. Yeah. Shiny Zinni playing a little soccer here.
If you pick up the 4th reserve, you die. We could have an item. Some of the items will randomly kill you. Like maybe one randomizer spring ball and screw attack. You just die if you pick them up.
Yeah, that would add in a little volatility for sure. I also played around with the idea of having progressive charge beams, like starting out with a charge beam and then replacing, like, let's say we capped out at 10 energy tanks instead of 14. And the 4 that we removed became all charge beams. And every time you picked up charge, it added like another, 10% or whatever. So like you'd start off with 30%, and then every time you found a charge beam, it would upgrade to whatever until you could eventually get to 100. But then I kind of felt like that was, that would change things too, because then the one individual vanilla charge beam item now no longer is sort of like that's a big deal. Like, even though you have baby charge in this, finding regular charge is a big deal. It affects a lot of things. So anyway, just a lot of different ideas out there. It's always good to consider different options. Some sound good in theory, but in practical application don't really work.
There is, by the way, for anybody interested, a Super Metroid death randomizer where every door transition you have a 1 out of 8 chance of dying. So if you're into that, go nuts.
Yeah, we were talking about how funny it was that Charge Beam was the first item here. But again, we didn't really... The only changes we made to the percentage chance of items being somewhere were... we allowed gravity to be in green and pink Brinstar locations, and then we also changed the ratio of where your first progression item at the beginning of the game, instead of it being power bombs like 10 out of 13 or whatever, we made it to where bombs and screw had a little bit higher of a chance. But otherwise, we didn't really modify anything else. So Charge Beam is no more, likely or less likely now with baby charge being in there. Because to me, I feel like if you start controlling that stuff too much, then you are fabricating the experience, if that makes sense. So I've taken great care. That's been one of my main concerns. I've taken great care to make sure that the changes to the items are not necessarily trying to guide you in a particular direction. They just give you options.
All right, Kip. Well, as Shiny Zenny and Evil Sparky 1 finish up, I am gonna have to take my leave and let you to solo commentate.
Yeah, no problem,
some
Rumble.
things
Thank
to
you so
take care
much,
of.
man.
Yeah, thanks
I
for the
appreciate
invite.
you stepping in.
Yeah, absolutely. GG to all the runners, and make sure you guys check out the randomizer tonight in a little over 4 hours, if my math is correct. And I will see you all then.
Thanks, Rumble. Have a great day, bud. Got to give a shout out to my boy Rumble. Rumble has done some really awesome things. He actually has designed one of the best Super Metroid item trackers out there. I use it all the time on my stream. A lot of other people use it. I think it's the official one maybe for the league, unless I'm mistaken. But he's developed a lot of other things. I also shout him out. He made the very first ever practice ROM for Sunset Riders for me when I was practicing Sunset Riders. So appreciate Rumble very much. In the meantime, Evil Sparky is trying to exit Lower Norfair here after dispatching of Ridley once again. And I'm not sure what Zenny's up to. I guess he's going to try to go do some RBO-style Dragon here. Looks like we're going to get some nice X-ray microwave action from Shiny Zenny here on Dragon. A little fried shrimp before Christmas. He's got his fried shrimp platter ready for his work Christmas party. Yeah, that's definitely the standard RBO strat right there. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Madewalk Herd, excuse me, for doing the restream today. Appreciate very much the efforts put in place by everybody at SpeedGaming to help us not only restream this, but get everything organized. So thank y'all very, very much. And we will be back tonight again at 7 o'clock Eastern for the final qualifier. It should be an interesting time. I'm not sure what Sousa's running right now. I guess if I looked closely, looks like old route maybe, KPDR. I think that's what it says at in the split there at the bottom. So he's doing a little old route, 80% action. Shiny Zinni heading to, I guess he's going direct ship. Not really sure what he's up to. Evil Sparky, I believe, is done with all of his bosses, so I think he's going to be making his way into into Torium. He's got 55 power bombs, so plenty to kill all of the Metroids. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he went to Shack Tool, so I don't think he has Ice Beam. But yeah, just to reiterate to everybody out there, if you type in !dash into the chat there, it will give you a link to the tournament. If you look at that link, there is another link inside that will take you to the Dash main page. It will detail for you all the changes that we've put into this randomizer. It will explain things. There's even some videos that I made that kind of further explain the vision behind it and why I sort of selected to go with some of these options. And so, you know, you can download the program. Basically, what we have is, instead of having an online option at the moment, we've got a program that you download, and then you can generate as many seeds as you like. We're on version 8 at the moment, so yeah. Scope it out, give it a try, and it's not too late to participate in the qualifier tonight. We got one final qualifier tonight, so check it out and come on back for that. Zinni doing some was that X-ray shenanigans? All right, we got Evil Sparky coming up here on Mother Brain 1, while Shiny Zenny is, I believe, finally done with the wreck ship and going to be heading over to the landing site. So I think Zenny's finally done with all of the 4 bosses, and he is going to, I would assume, either do more shenanigans or head to Torian. So Evil Sparky here going to unload a bunch of super missiles onto Mother Brain and then supplement with some charge shots. So this should be a fairly quick fight. Oh, unfortunately, Evil Sparky taking a death. Meanwhile, Zenny having a fairly quick Torian here with his Ice Beam. Holy moly, ladies and gentlemen, we had a successful spring ball baby Metroid skip. Unbelievable. That was definitely worth the price of admission right there. Yeah, apparently I was wrong. I thought we had a choice between Shenanigans and Torian, and it's like that commercial. Why not have both? In the meantime, Evil Sparky is power bombing some Metroids here. Once again, he's got plenty of power bombs. Typically, most of the time, it's going to take 3 power bomb drops to kill the Metroids in a room. Technically, if I recall correctly, you need to hit them 5 times, but each power bomb has a chance to hit them twice. So it just depends. Sometimes it can take you more than 3 if you just, kind of don't maneuver it correctly or don't drop them in the right places. But most of the time, people are able to finish them up with the 3 power bomb drops. Gonna be a little bit tight on the ammo here for Zinni, but he's got it no problem. And looks like Zinni has successfully finished Mother Brain. And ladies and gentlemen, PogChamp, looks like we're going to have a sub 2-hour seat here on Zinni. And most likely for Evil Sparky as well. Plus, we got to showcase a ton of cool tech. Very fun. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be moving over here in just a moment to, there is a really hype new Super Mario Brothers relay race that's coming up here shortly on SpeedGaming, so please stay tuned for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye, and I'll just let the restreamers swap over whenever they need to. But thank you to Zinni and Evil Sparky for racing in today's race and finishing up these seeds. I want to thank everybody in the chat for being here. I hope you guys had fun. We'll be back at 7 p.m. for the final qualifier. And y'all have an excellent Saturday. I'm going to step away and get some lunch and whatnot. But we'll see you here in a few hours. See you next mission.